Hey guys, welcome to Toys Under Review. I'm Rick Mulligan. We're going to jump right into ToyWorld D02 Muddy, or Sludge as most of us would know him from our childhood. He is the third-party remake of the Dinobot. They claim it's going to be a combiner. Again, much like his big brother Roar, does not come with any extra parts, which really makes me wonder if we're going to get screwed in the end of this and they're going to say, hey, you have to buy a sixth piece and get all these combiner parts. So anyway, here's the box. This box is awesome, much like Roar's box. We are gonna jump right into this bad boy and take a look and see what we get with Muddy. Okay, much like before, instructions, that's awesome. There's Sludge sitting in his box looking all pretty and awesome, and or as they call him, Muddy. So let's take this bad boy out and give him a look. Okay, got the box open, got Sludge out. Got his weapon and his sword. So the blaster here fits right underneath. It's a little stiff for me and I had trouble getting it in. I kind of had to force a little bit, which I really didn't care much for. But it's supposed to fit right in there. And then his sword, which folds over. Haven't figured out where this can be put yet when he's not in robot mode. So, don't know. Anyway, let's jump right into transforming this bad boy. Much like Roar, he's big. He's got some size to him. I don't really like this chrome quite as much. It doesn't match what Roar's gold was, but it's kind of cool. His mouth opens, so, you know, maybe with the sword in there. Yeah, that probably works very Voltron-like. Anyway, all right, let's get this bad boy popped apart and see what he looks like in robot mode. So first we're going to start off with the tail. You can get this thing popped apart here kind of quick. Comes right apart. And the thing that's really interesting here is the legs separate onto the upper half of his torso. So when you pop them apart, they actually join the higher end of the torso. They're not on the bottom. So when you pop them apart, these legs fold out like this. They fold out like this so you can kind of see them kind of open here. And much like on Roar or most Dinobots or most Transformers, I would say, you got to give them a little swing. There's not a lot of clearance room there, so you got to be careful. It's a tight fit. It will work, but just be careful. It's a very tight fit. So once you get the legs down, he kind of looks like he's trying to fly. Come to the back here, and the tail hides itself. So you swing these little end pieces around into one another, so they hide perfectly in there. And then they fold in, There's little brackets here, and it fits perfectly right in. And then you fold it back under the leg. And when you fold it back under the leg, again, there are little clips in here that it fits perfectly. So you just latch those right into there. And then there's a piece here on the side. You can take this piece and it folds in perfectly to kind of hide the gap from when you separated his upper and lowers. His foot folds out, so you just give a little fold out. So he's got a toe. These really move. They're on hinges, so they've got some mobility to them, which is great when you're trying to pose him. Same thing on the other side. Swing this around. Clips in perfectly. There's a great little latch right there. It just fits right in. And drop this thing over on the side, just like before. So there are his legs. And the last thing you're going to do with the legs is give them a nice 180 so that they swing around to the front. Now, get a little tricky here. So you can drop these arms back down. And the body will open. And it should have a nice little pathway right here between the little pathway right there, and it opens perfectly. It should be great. And then the legs, you turn them down so that the wings can really, I'm gonna call them wings, can really open up. There's little slides here. You slide these up, spin them around, and there's little latches, and the arms lock right in. Much like Roar, there's a hinge here, which is great, so it allows a little more mobility and posability. And just kind of do like that. It's got hinges here as well, which is great. So you can slide that up on the other side just the same, lock it in, swing it around, give his arm a bend. And you take his head, and his head, unlike Roar, this piece opens up a little bit more, and it hides a little silhouette of the Autobot logo, which is great. We take that, flip his head up, which I love his head mold. I think his head mold's great. And you take and flip that shut, so he's got a little space there. And then the head here, the dinosaur head, fold it up and pulls it back. And then the wings kind of open up into it, and you can kind of see how it looks really cool in the back there with everything kind of just sitting there, and I dig it. Hands, much like almost all of our Transformers, guys, hide in the wrists. I didn't have any problem popping these out. I have a feeling that people will. I know in Roar, it took me a little bit of time. Watch, I'll probably have trouble here. Nope, came right out, which is awesome. So you get him all transformed. He doesn't have the same silhouette so much that Roar did in terms of having kind of wings behind him. Roars really have awesome kind of wing looking element to him. But the gun fits really nicely in the groove there, so you can hold it. Gun size, fine. Sword size, a little small. And it folds, which I don't really like because it makes it look wimpy. So Muddy, when he's transformed, I really do like the overall look of him. Again, his feet and toes are very poseable, which allows you to kind of really play with him and have him do some stuff and make him, you know, look like he's running or sitting. I love to make a lot of my Autobots look like they're running for some reason. I don't know, but whatever. So I dig the way he looks. I think he's got a great look to him. We'll compare him to Roar, who I have right here. So much like his big brother, they're pretty much the same height. There's not a drastic height difference in them. Muddy seems to be a little bit taller. But with Roar's wings there, he looks a little bigger. So, no, or whatever, his tail, I guess. Again, I love this line. I think these guys are just awesome. I can't wait to see the rest of the combiners and see what, when we're all done, they look like and how awesome they are as a unit. So, yeah, I mean, it's a fun set. I really enjoy it. I'm so glad I picked this guy up. And Muddy and Roar are just, they're when I set them on my shelf, they look amazing. I absolutely love them. And I could not be happier. So we have Muddy, we have Roar. Roar, go away. You've had your time in the sun. So we'll just sit here on Muddy for a second more. But yeah, give him a good look over. I just think he's a great figure. Again, the chrome's I'm not a huge fan of, but I think it's okay. And I love the chest piece, how it kind of drops down. So that is Muddy from ToyWorld. This is their second of their 5 combiners. If you like this video, do me a favor and subscribe, and we'll try to keep them coming. And take care, and until next time, have a great day.